Good Thursday morning, the day after Christmas. It is December 26, 2024. Hope you had a good day yesterday. Today, not much different than yesterday. Highs up near 40 degrees, kind of cloudy conditions. Tomorrow, we'll be up in the low 40s. And then this weekend, starting tomorrow night and through the weekend into early next week, we're going to have some rain chances. Good chance of rain, too. Possibly an inch or more. We'll have to see exactly how much falls. At one point it looked like even more, but it has been the trend this year that models show a lot of precipitation and then back off a little bit as we approach events. And hasn't been good for our drought situation, which we should get an update on a little later this morning. But right now, let's just see how things are panning out. So this high pressure system, still some cold air damming, that cold air east of the mountains. Moisture coming off the ocean has caused some fog around, and with cold temperatures, even some localized icy spots this morning. So hopefully you've been careful out there. But that should clear up as we get above freezing in the not too distant future. But here we are. So we're going into the future here. We do still see that cold air damming. That's those sagging lines here east of the mountains. And as we go forward, we see them get a little more pronounced there. And then finally, although you see kind of holding things back, finally this little moisture gets in here and we start to warm up on Saturday. And then, temperatures are going to go from the low 40s to the 50s, at least through Tuesday of next week. So here you go. Different systems causing different amounts of rain. Let's just talk about the time period here. So here we are on Saturday with the rains coming through. It's kind of a warm front, and then a cold front's going to come through with some rain. And then we go into Monday. Monday may be dry. At least that's what the models show. That's also what the forecast shows. And then more moisture is coming our way, so that on the day before New Year's or New Year's Eve here, maybe some more moisture will come into play. See exactly how this pans out. This is a little bit of changes, back and forth as far as exactly how things are going to pan out here. You do see the cold air starting to come back into the country, and it is headed for us. So we do cool off a little bit here as we go into New Year's Day. And maybe just cold enough that if this moisture does get into interaction with the cold air to our north, this is after New Year's, so this is later next week, we could see some snow move up into this area. We'll just have to see if this comes true, how far north that snow gets, if it even matters that much. It doesn't look like much. We're barely on the fringe, although it tends to be that these things tend to be a little too far south and then come a little bit further north. But honestly, in this pattern, it could go even further south. Now, this brings in a lot of colder air. You see a big dip here in the east with cold air. Now, this does not look very conducive for a low pressure or something to come up the east coast. This is the operation model, and I can tell you that the ensemble models, and ensembles are several different runs of the operation model that show different variables coming to be involved. And at some points here in the last day or so, it's shown a much better chance of maybe some follow-up storm coming into the region. So we'll have to see if that comes true. This does sharpen up, meaning that there's a sharp trough here that usually signifies some type of a low pressure system or something that could form. But anyway, that cold air comes in. It's pretty cold, and then we warm up briefly here. Now, after this, we're in La La Land, so exactly how things pan out will really be something the models are going to struggle with for days, and they have been. They've been all over the place after we've gotten to about 4 to 5 days out. But anyway, the cold air is coming down, and maybe there's another, chance of something, but then, phew, this is a motherload of cold. This is super cold air that's going to come down in the United States. When and where or if this comes about will be there, but I can tell you the models are showing this big cross-polar flow, which means cold air all the way from the other side of the world rushing into the United States and just plummeting us into a very Arctic-y, outbreak. This is very windy, very cold, brutally cold, and dry, honestly. This is not a pattern that's showing anything there at this point. Does the cold stick around? According to this model, maybe not very long, but we'll have to see how things really pan out. I think it will get reinforced at some point as well. Anyway, so again, let's just summarize today. Kind of chilly like yesterday, cloudy skies, around 40 tomorrow, maybe low 40s, kind of cloudy, then tomorrow night and into Saturday and Sunday we get rain chances, not a ton of rain, but some rain around. Monday kind of dry, another chance of some showers. On Tuesday doesn't look like a washout. Maybe that will actually dry up a little bit, not be too much when we get there. And then as we go into next week, we could see maybe a little bit of cooler air and possibly some kind of snowy situation. We'll have to see if that pans out. That's been your Loudoun County weather outlook, and I would say definitely once you get beyond 4 to 5 days, don't take anything that I say as, gospel or these models, because they're different. Even if you look to the European, it looks different as well. Other than the next 3 to 5 days, they look pretty similar. All right, have an awesome day after Christmas, and hope all goes well. Have a good one.